Okay, there's not a ton of these floating around on this bike, so I wanted to make one. This is a walk-around of a 2020 Cannondale SystemSix Ultegra Di2. This bike has about 500 miles on it. Just had it a few weeks. So far, so good. It is as advertised. It is really fast. For me, it made a huge difference. I'm coming from an alloy Cannondale Synapse. The first shakedown ride I took on this thing, it was faster over 20 miles. It was a faster 40K, so 24.8 whatever miles, and fastest 30-mile time. That was the first ride I took on it, and a little bit of that ride was running in the disc brake pads and getting them and just knocking the new off the pads. So it is as advertised. It is lightning quick. This is what I did here is it's just wanted to show you a couple things. There's the cockpit. There is an aftermarket cockpit or aftermarket computer mount that would mount the computer basically flat, straight out from the bar here. This is the factory mount, and I like it better. Here's why. I'm going to pull this out just so I can show you. Just imagine this was centered, but if you use that mount, it's like this. And the buttons on this is a Garmin 1030 Plus. This is the newest computer. That would put it right up against the edge of the bar. And with the factory mount, the buttons are up top. They're a lot easier to get to. You don't have to wedge your finger down in there. So, everybody's got their thing, but I actually like the way this mount does. I like the way it looks when I'm on the bike, and I like being able to get to these buttons pretty easily. If you buy the aftermarket mount, it would mount to these screws here and the one over here, and it goes straight out. There's a little bit of a retaining bar here that holds the brake hoses and electronics in place right up under here. You can see. One of the questions I had going in was where to mount the WU-111 wireless unit that pairs the Di2 to the head unit, and so you can update your Di2 system via the eWire app on your phone. There are some people who put it behind the junction box, which is right here. They add a little piece of cable and it would be in here. There are other people who put it behind the battery, so it would be mounted down in here somewhere. My mechanic who built this bike up actually cleverly put it right in here. And it works out really good because that means it's right here and it's close to the head unit it's going to talk to anyway. So that worked for me. The wireless unit is right in here. All of the plumbing runs down through here. There is a tunnel that runs straight down through here, and then the wiring runs down here. The only exposed anythings are a little bit of hydraulic brake hose here on the front. You can see it coming out of this nipple here in the fork, and also you can see it right down here in the back over there on that side. You can see it right there out of that nipple on the back of on the inside of the chain stay, running back to the caliper. That's the only exposed wires there are. Everything else is routed internally. But this is a sort of look at the cockpit, so you can see kind of how that looks. I run just a couple other things that I have on this one. I use Garmin's lighting system on the front and back. I love the way it works. Here is the Garmin Varia headlight. You can see it's got an easy twist mount up underneath here, and you can see how it attaches here up underneath. That's actually, it's got the underside of the factory Cannondale mount is set up so you can use this twisty turning mount off the Garmin. Same on the back. My other bike is a Cannondale Synapse, and it uses a radar. It uses the radar that's more looks like a brick kind of side to side kind of setup. This one, because it's elongated vertically, it works well. It sort of, I think it works nice behind the Aero seat post. It tucks in pretty well. You can see it's got a light flashing on it. Everything's just in a sleep mode. The second I start a ride, all this stuff lights up. This is a Silca Premio little saddlebag. You can put a tube in here, a multi-tool, a couple tire levers, CO2, and an inflator in here. And that's about it. But it sort of fits nicely, I think, with the aesthetic of the bike. This is the Pro Logo saddle. Going into buying the bike, I saw a lot of mixed reviews on the saddle saddle. It's a shorter saddle. Nose to tail, of course, that's the whole industry is kind of going that way to a shorter seat. It's pretty comfortable. The only thing I really had to do is I had to knock it back a little bit, just for my taste from where my mechanic had it set, and that's fine. And I'm still tinkering a little bit with seat angle to get it exactly where I want it to be. Here's I use these, the bottle cages I got are the Elite Cannibal XC cages. They're pretty flexible here a little bit, and they've got these rubber pieces here, and they hold the bottles in place pretty good. I use Camelback Podium bottles. They stay in there really good. They go in really easily, and then when you pull them out, there's a little bit of resistance. You can tell the cages are holding the bottles in place pretty good. Here's a junction box. This is where you charge the Di2 system. It's got this kind of cool carbon fiber plate that kind of goes around it. And then the junction box is actually this. It's about it's about the circumference of a nickel. In the middle of that, you can see it. And the bike's got got kind of a really cool look to it. The front end, a lot of aero bikes, they do a lot of things the same. Everybody kind of does this piece right here to try to get the air around the seat post. Everybody flares out or does something down here. You can see the flare up top, trying to get the air around the bottle cages. Everybody's got kind of this little cutout right in here for the front wheel. You can see in the back, we've got that same cutout that to keep the air attached to the bike till the last possible minute. What Cannondale does a little different. Their bike has got the front end kind of rolls out here at the front, and then they have this sort of weird line here that they say keeps the air attached as it comes off the wheels. They call it a chine. All the different manufacturers seem to have a different idea of what should happen right here. This is kind of the critical point because this is a leading edge where you get a lot of, where you get the airflow coming over the bike. I use all the extensions here. Here's the thing on the Cannondale, the seat and the bars were almost sitting at the same height. We measured all this out because we were trying to replicate sort of the feel on this bike. Now here, you can't get that. But what you can do is, because it's a bit of a trade-off, the bars are lower, but they're closer to the seat because, of course, on a race bike, the wheelbase is a little shorter. The wheelbase is a few centimeters shorter on this bike than it was on the Synapse. So it's a really comfortable bike to ride. You can just if you want to get down and go fast on it, it'll take everything you can give it. But it's also comfortable. I mean, you can sit upright on it, and you can really it'll eat up miles. Here is the spider ring up close. Here's you can get a look at it here. It's a 52-36 in the front. Here's the rear cassette. It's 1130. You can see here's just the one wire. It's got this little nipple in the back of the frame, and it comes down to the rear derailleur. I use Ultegra pedals, just because it worked out just to match out the group set. That's it. It's bike's got about 500 miles on it, and if you do run a saddlebag, this is a good pick. This BOA, you can tighten it up, and it's really quiet. The top of the saddlebag has little dimples in it that fit it up into the seat rails, so it's really nice and quiet. It doesn't make any sound. I've never heard it make a sound while it's on the bike. You don't feel it. It's sort of the way it's tucked in. If you look at it from straight overhead, it's not in a place where your legs can get to it. It just sort of pokes out the back. So that's it. That's a close-up look at it. It's every bit as advertised. I really enjoyed riding it. So there you go. That's the 2020 Cannondale SystemSix Ultegra Di2.